Hey! Welcome into Whoosh here with me, Louie. I know I've talked a lot of Magic the Gathering lately, but that's because the Magic the Gathering Spider-Man set was coming. Well, pre-release happened to occur this past weekend, and if you've seen the short over on YouTube, I was able to go to a pre-release event at Walt Disney World, down in their Disney Springs area. I can't wait to jump into that, but I do have to give a huge shout out to Rachel for spending some of our anniversary in line waiting for those magic cards and helping to film some of the content while we were on our trip too. So I can't express how grateful I am for her and for everything she did. But let's jump in to the pre-release. The pre-release event took place at the World of Disney in Disney Springs. It's the biggest Disney store in downtown Disney. Well, formerly downtown, now Disney Springs. But it was something I'd never experienced before. They've never done a Magic the Gathering pre-release event there before. They did actually do, or have done, a lot of Lorcana pre-release events there, which is kind of a cool thing. It did apparently flow very similar to that. We had talked to a few people in line with us. Absolutely amazing. Shout out to Juan. And I cannot remember her name, but she was absolutely awesome to talk with too. Her and Rachel talked a lot more than I did, and I apologize so much for not being able to recall your name. But it was awesome. You guys were great. It was awesome to hang out with you. And you made waiting in line bearable. Like, it was, you guys were just awesome. So thank you again. The event itself. Here's a clip of what the line looked like at one point, and it only continued to get longer. So, yeah, a lot of people were there. They did have pretty much, I think, everything they're offering for the Spider-Man set available to purchase. So you had the play boosters, you had play booster boxes, you had collector boosters, you had collector booster boxes, you had bundles, and you had scene boxes all available. To me, what I think one of the coolest things they did for the event itself is they charged MSRP. And I get it, it's Disney. They probably should. But it's hard sometimes to come by these Universe Beyond sets at MSRP. So a play booster pack was $7. The bundle was $70. A collector booster was $35. So it was really awesome to see them putting them out there at cost. I can't emphasize enough how awesome it was to see that and be able to go pick them up. Something really cool that they did was they actually gave out some learn to play decks to anyone waiting in line. So Rachel and I actually got Spider-Man 2099 and Peter Parker as our learn to play decks, but we were able to trade them, and we ended up with Miles and Gwen, and they're really cool. And if you've never seen one of these before, they contain two 20-card Magic the Gathering decks. You open them up, place them face down, and play them as they are. You do not shuffle them, because they actually go through the steps of how to play and how to play each of these. So it's really nice. Like, this one has Ghost Spider as a mono red deck, and an Venom Eddie Brock deck as the learn to play. So those are really cool. They gave those away, and they were completely free. So that was really cool. But what they also did was, with purchase, you got an awesome Peter Parker promo card with art done by Randy Gallegos. Gallego? I think it's Gallegos. I should have asked him how to say it, but I didn't. But I had never had the opportunity to meet a Magic the Gathering artist before, so that was really cool. Before I get into that, let's talk a little bit more about the purchasing and how it went. They opened the store, I think, like 10 minutes early, and they filed the line in. So before we were even in this line, because Disney Springs has multiple entrances, they have like an east and a west entrance. What ended up happening was they walked the They walked both of the entrances and the lines of both entrances to meet, and then they just had us kind of zipper merge, sort of, because it was more like, all right, you two lines just merge and call it a day. Great. And that was kind of the most uncoordinated part of it. I was 4th or 5th from the front, depending on whether Rachel was standing in front of me or behind me. So had every opportunity to buy basically anything I was looking for. They came out with sticky notes to make sure anybody looking to buy a collector booster was labeled with a sticky note. They could go to the counter and they would get them the collector booster, which is awesome. Like I said, getting that collector booster at MSRP probably is a really good deal right now. It was after tax probably about $440-ish, somewhere in there, if not slightly more. But if that's what you're looking for, that's not bad, considering some of them are going for upwards of 500, depending. That was really cool. For me, one of the things I thought was awesome was that the scene box was available, because I kept wanting to order it. I know my local shop wasn't able to actually get any when they were allocated their product, which sucks. So the fact that they had them allowed me to pick up something I was really looking forward to, and pay, like I said, MSRP. So that was really cool. And if you haven't seen the scene box, this is why it's called a scene box. It has 6 cards in it. They all form one giant scene if you put them together. They also come with just the art cards for the scene box. And then you get 3 play boosters in there as well. So I'm super stoked. The rest of my haul, as you can see in this picture, was 3 collector boosters. 3 collector boosters, a bundle, and I think that might have been it to start us off with. And then I did go back and get a couple of play boosters later in the day. But they did have a limit of 2 items per person. I have 3 collector boosters because Rachel bought me 2 collector boosters and I bought myself one. So it did work out that way. Really good. And that was kind of the purchasing part of it. It didn't go as smooth because, like I said, this was their first Magic version instead of Lorcana, but it did flow relatively simple. So no complaints there. From there, while we were waiting in line to get into the store, they actually came by and had us all sign up for a list and put us in order because, like I said, they were having Randy Galagos there to sign autographs for everybody. And he signed prints and he signed the promo cards they gave out. And wicked nice guy. We got to have a conversation. He's been doing Magic for over 30 years, or about 30 years, somewhere in there. So it was really cool to get to meet him. Like I said earlier, I've never had the chance to meet a Magic artist, so that was cool. And just to thank him for the work on Magic. I know I'm relatively new to the game, but I love the art in it. So if I can thank an artist for the work and the time and the effort they've put into doing it, I absolutely will. I find it amazing and awesome. So, like I said, thank you to them for doing it. I can't thank him enough for taking the time, taking a picture, and signing the cards. And fortunately, something they've done this year, well, in this set almost exclusively, is they've made the cards modal. So if you can see here, this is Amazing Spider-Man, right? And then this is Peter Parker. But they're the same card. They're just opposite sides of the same card. And fortunately, again, shout out to Rachel. She was in line with me. She doesn't play Magic, but she did also get a promo card for making a purchase. So we were able to get both sides of the card signed. So I'm actually in the process of building a Spider-Man commander where I'll just have both of these in my command zone because depending on how I want to cast him, it works. And then I don't have to actually touch them because they are signed, if you can kind of see there. It was really cool. It was a really cool event. I've never had the chance to do it. I've gone to a pre-release at my local gaming store before, like my LGS, but to go to something run by Disney, to see how efficiently they get people in and out, to see them charging MSRP for all of the products, to see just how much product flew out the door. Because I went back I was there for a few more days after, and I went back later in the day, and I'm pretty sure by that point they were sold out of um, the collector boosters, and they sold out of the collector booster boxes before we even left. Um, Play boosters, I assume probably flew almost as fast as a box because the line was massive. By the time Saturday rolled around and I went back again one final time, all they had left were bundles and play boosters. Um, Still charging the same normal amount for them, but everything else, the scene boxes, the collector boosters, collector booster boxes, and the play booster boxes were all gone. So that to me was cool to see just how popular the game was. And I was honestly curious because it's Disney, it's Magic the Gathering, not Lorcana. It's at their Disney Springs location. Like, how was it going to be? And I think it went really well. If I had the chance to go again in the future, I absolutely would. I think they did a fantastic job merging the lines and running everything and getting people in and out, getting them what they were looking for. The crowd was pretty great, to be honest. Like, everybody in there was pretty great to each other from what I could see. So that was pretty awesome. The only thing I would recommend, maybe, and I know they sell the Lorcana products, so again, this might be something to do with licensing, and they didn't make merchandise for it. Maybe sell some sleeves, Disney, because a lot of people were looking for sleeves for their promo cards or some of the other things they were going to have signed that they didn't have a sleeve for. Like, I thought about it ahead of time because I knew I was going to try to buy some packs at some point while I was down there, hopefully. And I packed some of these light blue sleeves. So, fortunately, I had some. I gave some out while I was down there. But that was the only drawback, I think, is that they just didn't have sleeves for things. But overall, it was a really cool event, and like I said, I would do it again. Have you ever gone to a Lorcana release down there? Have you ever been to, like, Disney Springs for any other type of event? Do they always run it so efficiently? Let me know in the comments below. Are you actually excited for the Spider-Man set? I feel like there's a lot of negativity around it, and I would be lying if I told you I didn't get it. Having bought quite a bit of the product, I kind of get it. Like, it's an underwhelming first Marvel set, if I'm being 100% honest. The secret layers they came out with for Deadpool, Iron Man, Cap, Storm, Black Panther, and Wolverine, to me, all kind of hit a little bit better. The fact that there's no Commander decks, and Commander's the most popular format. The fact that they did do Commander cards, but via secret layer for Spider-Man. It's a bit frustrating. And I get that, but let me know what your thoughts are on the set. I would love to hear it. And if you are watching Whoosh for running and or comic content, I promise that is coming. Okay? I do promise that. However, there is a card in this set that I think everybody needs to see. And it's just Whoosh. So, we have a card in the set. Sort of. I'm going to take it as a win because I've been doing either a blog or YouTube for Whoosh since like 2015-ish. So I think that's awesome to see in there. I'm considering that my show card. I've put that into the Spider-Man deck I'm building, so I think that's really cool. But I do have to be honest, I get some of the hesitancy with the set, and I just know that I'm excited because having recently gotten into Magic and been enjoying it, I'm really glad there's Spider-Man in there. I'm glad they have some of the original art cards in there. I'm very, very excited about everything they have going on for it, and I'm hoping the sets in the future are great. Like, I'm hoping we get an Avenger set. I'm hoping maybe we get an X-Men set. Maybe we'll get, I don't know, some other really, really great stuff down the line. Like maybe probably not a Guardians. Maybe like a story arc set instead. Who knows? Spider-Man was a good try, and I think it's a good first step that needs to be improved on. Not could be, or should be, needs to be improved upon for later releases. But yeah, let me know. What are your overall thoughts on the Spider-Man set? And I promise you, I have a comic book video coming soon for what am I reading about Moon Knight. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, I promise that's coming. So isn't my Pine State Expo, and maybe even a PAX East video that is only 5 months late. I'm gonna get all the back content out. I made a list because I want to get it out there, and I want to finish off the things that I've already promised to have finished. So keep an eye out. I promise comic book content is coming, not just magic. But thank you again for tuning in, and let me know in the comments. Are you excited for the Spider-Man set? Are you excited for more Magic the Gathering and Marvel? Can't wait to hear it. We'll see you.